Our company has always been pretty shebutnoy. There were 8 of us, 4 boys and 4 girls. We were only friends who sometimes spent together weekends or holidays in the company. It somehow more fun and safer. And now, one day we decided to go to some remote village. New experience, change of scenery, began to look for wherever move. And then Seryoga says, there are relatives in a dense village. Found contacts and phoned a second cousin, grandmother. But of course at first to the idea shelter such a crowd reacted without enthusiasm. But Serezha convinced her. Anyway we went. Conquer the outback. It turned out that the village, and the truth is in the wilds, more than 10 hours. Arrive when you arrive. The first thought that appeared in vain. Pinned down, the main road met us. Darkness and silence, even the dogs did not bark. It felt like a village died out. The house of grandmother Serezha also had to search. But to get through, it took about 20 minutes. And while we were there, roared, the silence around was deathly. Door creaked and rattling. Old voice and friendly. I asked who the devils brought there. Seryoga is already very tired in response. Advised bananas from the ears at least sometimes. Pull out. Laughter was heard in the yard. The lamp was lit from not high. Porch shuffling gate to the gate. A little grandmother came up. How, how. I remember that dear guests are welcome. She must have grinned and slapped the earring. Come on in, but don't be quick. Hang out on the street. We've been here for half an hour. Seryoga grumbled, sticking out. I called. Warned. Grandmother weighed him not. A strong crack and something grumbled, eh? Then went out to the road and looked around and quickly stomped back. Seryoga waved hand and we went to unload the bags. But the old woman began to insistently beckon to the house. She said that tomorrow we will analyze the monotki. Only let the fridge out of the car. Taken away. Quickly looking back, as if she noticed something, drove us to porch. Granny turned on the light in the house and I didn't think only one burned. A thick yellow candle in the corner on a small table under the icon. I looked around and realized why outside we did not see the light all. The curtains were tightly drawn in the air. There was a heavy smell. Incense. At first I even have eyes. Slimy. Natashka reached out to the window. Then the old woman grabbed her by the hand and shook her head. In the dark we were led to different rooms and wished a quiet night. I didn't have the strength to be indignant. So they just put up with Natasha and collapsed. Sleep. Morning came for us when a rooster crowed in the yard. Natasha too woke up and here we are staring at each other. Friend, and out of the corner of my eye I noticed that between curtains in the room breaks the light and, as if fresher than it was, Natasha said that in the middle of the night she wanted to take a breath of fresh air. I just didn't have the strength to get up and open window. Immediately felt better. Of course we cooked everything back so as not to annoy the old woman once again, and let's go. Look for some water. It turned out that Grandma woke up too. Should wear toilet wash basin and invited to the table. The rest was sleeping while we slowly began to ask Granny about life. Her name was Agrafena Semyonovna. She was old, already 94, and she has not yet died. Was going to word for word and now surfaced. Trip, Natasha asked what in the village. Such silence and darkness was yesterday. Agrafena Semyonovna answered evasively. Village people are superstitious, unlike you urban. We begged her to tell. It turned out that in the village literally buried a couple of days before our arrival, one man. From what he died is unclear. The doctor said something hard, and what to ask here? Not the city, answered the old woman. In the village, any death is an occasion to reflect, and with this dead man is still unclear. Not only a strange death, but also when a cat was buried through the coffin. Jumped, this is the surest sign. A sign of what? I asked. So ghouls appear, simply replied the old lady. Because at home all the people are locked up, even dogs, and dismantled the cats in the huts. Ghoul without. The difference is who to eat. And who are the ghouls? It's vampires. In our age, so. It was funny to hear a Frank pike. One barely managed not to whimper. And before the sunset of Agrafena Semyonovna, apparently like all the other inhabitants of this village, bypassed house with some incense sprinkled, thresholds and windowsills with holy water, and drew the curtains. 2 days later, Natasha got poisoned, lay all day. Later, I didn't leave him, but together with me and our caring hostess, all strove to feed Natasha something. By evening it was all over. Natasha even left for dinner, and then the old woman called me to aside and asked if I noticed strange things at night. Well, I confessed that Natasha opened the window the first night. Then Agrafena Semyonovna said that now everything is clear, and took from me a promise to stay up all night. What if Natasha will go window open, stop her? Every house has its own rules. One promised, and really did not sleep at night. I don't know what time it was, but one heard a strange scratching sound, like a branch on the window frame. Someone drove. At first I thought it seemed, but the sound was repeated, and I looked. Natasha gets out of bed. I called out to her. She stopped silently, returned to bed, and went to bed and immediately passed out. In the morning one naturally got up with roosters. Like Agrafena Semyonovna. and over tea told what she saw at night. The old woman nodded and said that it would be necessary to keep watch, because her grandchildren come home only tomorrow. Then I dug into some casket, pulled out a silver chain with a cross, and gave me two. Passed it on to Natasha. I knew that Natasha religions are skeptical, but didn't he persist? Of course, cross. Natasha did not accept. Our mistress looked at her somewhat sadly and gave me a cross. I didn't back down. I didn't mean to offend the old woman. Such rejection of religion, like Natasha, did not have. And the little thing seemed to me interesting. I slept during the day. By the rest helped in the garden and were doing something. And Natasha was resting in chair on the veranda. At night I heard again, like someone scratching under the window. Natasha got up and, just like the day before, returned to bed when I called out to her. I wonder what's outside the window. I came up, pushed back the curtain. There stood a man in slightly shabby suit, alcoholic, local or something I thought, and then he me saw, looked straight into my eyes, and strange his look, some kind of detached. Suddenly I put a hand on my shoulder. I turn around. Our grandmother. But why do you need it? It took asks. Curious. Barbarian, remember what you did? I shrugged shoulders, turned to the window, but there was no one. In the afternoon, too large guy. Against the background, our guys looked frail, although all four regularly went to the gym. They sat with us, ate, talked about something with my grandmother, and went to the barn from where they left with shovels and some kind of bag. I saw off with their eyes when Agafena Semyonovna came over and sat next to me. They are all correct. Do, she said calmly. What will they do? Asked. I watched the guys from the shovel dig up the grave with an old iron axe. The head will be cut off, and of course with a stake. Aspen, calm down. The old woman chuckled. You saw it myself. What I saw, I'm shocked. Turned to her. At night or something, yes. An ordinary nerd, in a slightly soiled jacket, yes, she squinted, say. He was so short with wavy dark hair, heavy chin, square. His eyes are bulging. Well, yes. I nodded. Gregory means this, she said. Old lady, they buried him the other day. Just did not know with her without consequences. This is not the first time this has happened in our area. She is talking about it like it's normal. Ordinary, even as if it was all the time. And nearby, somewhere nearby, Wunda Pegul. We can't find it, so I don't wanted you to come. But the earring and childhood brazen was immensely now, and even more so. By the way, be with Natalia. Be careful. On such evil spirits flock, like bees to honey. Wear this cross. Constantly it is illuminated, silver of the highest. Samples. Killing a ghoul won't kill you, but it will scare you away. In just a couple of days the rest came to the end and we were going home. All this time I watched Natasha felt. She's behaving normally but from the outside, she seemed to be getting worse. Agafya Semyonovna, saying goodbye, kissed her on the forehead and advised me to go to church. Natashka just grinned, and after 2 weeks we stood at a fresh grave. Natasha left too strange. No blood clots. Weak heart, no sign. Violent death. Just died and... In conclusion, death was not indicated. Cause. After the funeral, I gave everyone pre-purchased silver chains with crosses, specially illuminated everything in church, and put one of the same in the coffin. When I said goodbye to Natasha, a few nights, I woke up with a vague feeling. Danger, but then everything passed. We also, as before, we choose the whole company. Somewhere. The truth is now already looking for. Entertainment is not in remote villages. Natasha. Death came as a shock to us all. About conversations with Agafya Semenona. Did not tell anyone.